Still on Alderaan, the planet that won't exist in a few thousand years. Check out the cartel market. It is a decorations bundle. So I'm going to close that up because I do not usually buy decoration stuff. I have a lot. I mean, I've said it before, I have way too many decorations as it is. I rarely use them. I also have a lot of unclaimed login rewards too. Eventually I got to go ahead and get those. Oh, Kayla wants to talk to me on the ship, but not right now. All right, it is currently 71 on the AQI scale for smoke, which is sensitive. I think it's about a 100 whenever you get to like bad. Yeah, because it's right now it's moderate. I think it's, like I said, 50 below is good. 51 to like 99 is moderate. 100 above is sensitive, and then so on and so forth. And if you're wondering what I'm looking at, there's an app, at least on the Android store. I don't know about iPhones because I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android. It's called Air Now, and it's put out by the EPA, or Environmental Protection Agency. Pretty certain it only works with United States. So if you're viewing this in a different country, and sorry, and don't know about your country, if there is one or not, there might be. Or you could probably even download the one I have, and maybe if you're close enough, like maybe you live in Canada or Mexico, maybe it works. Don't know. Okay, so where am I going today? I'm gonna have to take a flight somewhere. Oh, there's one over here. If I remember correctly, yeah, there should be a taxi right there. So I go that far.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route. Have a safe and pleasant stay.
So yeah, we took the kid on a bike ride, and they're still learning. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was about 12, because I grew up poor and didn't have a bike and never learned. My older brother had one, but he kind of made it out of spare parts. It was from my uncles, and we didn't have it all the time, or else he stole bikes, which it's not a good thing, but it is what happened. Yeah, my younger brother and I, we didn't learn to ride until we were much older. My kid, yeah, teaching them how to ride a bike now. So it took him for a bike ride, and then afterward I took him to like the local school and let him ride around, because it's a lot more area. Because where we live, it's like a little bit of parking lot, and you really don't want kids riding around in a parking lot. I mean, you can if you have to. We did for a long time, and it's like, oh, well, we got an option. We got a minivan. We can throw the bike in the back of the minivan and drive over to, their school, which is closed on the weekend, and we'll go over and let them ride a bike. And then afterward, we stopped by and got blizzards because it's still hot. Even though this full of smoke, it's still hot out. So, okay, where do I need to go from here? Oh, kind of remember this place a little bit from when I played Sith Warriors and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that Alderaan wasn't explored a lot more in the Star Wars movies, because the first time we hear about it in the first Star Wars movie, it gets blown up. And let's see, then of course we hear about it again, the prequels, episode 3, but it's so short of a time. And then of course in the Obi-Wan series, they show a lot more of it. It's actually Alderaan looks a lot closer to what Earth kind of looks like, or would look like in this universe. Which apparently I was reading some kind of Wikipedia article where Earth appears as in Legends, and it's all like wonky because remember, this was take place a long time ago in a galaxy far away. But there's always going to be somebody who's going to try to push a little bit of, well, where's Earth in all this? And you know what? This has got to be the future. And like, does it? Does it have to be the future? All right, I'm not going to get past the second one, say mine. I need to get past the first set of
Come on out, I'll show you my gun.
Yeah, you do that, Khalil. But yeah, again, it's supposed to, and is it a whole thing, like the fantasy thing? I mean, at least that's the way I see it. It's not about, oh, well, what does this have to relate to with Earth? Well, it doesn't. It doesn't need to. It's fine if it doesn't. It's okay. This can be its own thing. It could be a little fantasy world. I mean, I don't try to fit Dungeons and Dragons in with, well, how does this relate to Earth? Well, it doesn't. It's an alternate world. It's a different reality. It's not, and that's okay. If you want to go the route of, oh, how's it affect Earth, then you want to, go Star Trek. Star Trek's about, the future. And Earth is very involved with that. But I'm sure there's a few people who probably couldn't stand Star Trek because it seems too liberal for them or something. But that's okay. You do you. I don't care. As long as you don't force me to... I won't force you to like what I like, and you don't force me to like what you like. Okay, let's go up here. Just like I say whenever people want to play PvP instead of PvE, which I'm doing right now. I'm not a fan of PvP, but you want to play it, go for it. Don't force me into it, because I don't want to do it. That's not fun for me. The moment you force me into it, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play this game anymore because I'm like, well, that's not fun. And yeah, I hear them like, oh, I've gone over this before. Like some people complain, like, well, force me into PvE so I can play PvP. I'm like, well, essentially, this game is kind of a. Oh, all right. Let's do this first. Who is C? And are they part of the conspiracy? Good question. Good questions. Open these up real quick here. Okay, I gotta head back to Vector. How fast would you just do quick travel at this point? Yeah, let me take out this gunner.
You want some of this?
Well, if it's healing, yeah, I definitely want some of that. Prototype disruptor. Oh, it's sniper guns. Too bad I can't use sniper guns. Alright, what is the fastest? Let's do this through here. I think this is, yeah, because I think he's right here. So let's go ahead and take a quick travel there. Yep. Let's spin the credits. Yeah, I went mute during the cutscene there, so I can eat some more of my blizzard. It's mostly melted at this point. Sorry. Yeah, we never grew up. When I grew up, we didn't get blizzards very much. We didn't get. I told you we were dirt poor. Going to McDonald's was a huge deal. I must say, whenever I was, I'll harvest this real quick. Yeah, whenever I was a kid, I can't remember how many times we went to McDonald's. It was like maybe once a year, maybe. We did if we did good on our spelling test, whatever. Our mom would take us out for ice cream, and then we became really good at spelling tests, and our mom stopped taking us out for ice cream. It's like that cost too much money. But anyway, yeah, going out and eating out, something I've done a lot as an adult. It's like barely did as a kid. Yeah, this guy seems to know a lot. Well, when you kill it, I'm part of the hive mind. Just don't ever make these things turn against me, or else I'll kill them all, because that's what my character would do.
Agent, it's good to see you. Yes, we apologize. The nest has been invigorated by star dancing. If you could smell the pheromones, you'd understand our restlessness.
This restlessness, is it going to be a problem?
There's nothing to be concerned about. The hive is growing, and we all benefit. We even have a gift for you. These orbs contain white membrosia, rare nectar produced by our givers. Pull back the wax and sip. You'll find it gives strength and healing.
You sure it's safe for humans?
The membrosia alone won't make you a joiner in these quantities. In any case, how's the search for Denri Ayl?
I found records in the older estate, but I'm not sure what to make of them.
This is perplexing. It looks like Ayl funded the destruction of the Dominator and the assassination of Darth Jadus. But the rest is very odd. Have you shown this to Baron Peyar?
I was just on my way.
Of course. We appreciate being kept apprised. We know you're under no obligation. We'll be on alert should you need anything else. The nest embraces our unity.
Cool, power up. Back persist through defeat. Oh, last 60 minutes, okay. Should the thing be shaken like that? You better get out of here. Last thing I want to do is become one of these. Going back, what I was saying before, yeah, going out and eating out anywhere was very rare as a kid. Even, it's there were times, and I have a lot of, I think I mentioned this before, a lot of food insecurities because of what happened as a kid. A lot of times we'd go starving for days. But our mom would be able to go to like a food pantry or maybe a church or whatever to donate something for us to eat, and it would be something small and something, you'd eat whatever you could. I mean, even now it's like I still like the taste of government cheese because kind of it reminds me of being a child. Although I don't know if they ever give out government cheese anymore. It's been a long time. But yeah, it's going out to this place like, oh, let's just go out to McDonald's or go out to, go out and get blizzards or whatever, or get pizza or whatever. It's like, that was always like this huge rarity as a kid. But got older and now it's different. And it's kind of fun. Yeah, look at my kid. I'm like, yeah, you're fortunate you got, instead of asking, is there anything to eat? You're like, what can I eat? And I'm like, with those kids, it's like if there was food in the house, we devoured it because it was the last time we ever thought we'd have food. And how none of us are extremely overweight is, I mean, I got some pounds packed on because I got older, but I was always, either underweight or just about the right weight my entire life.
Welcome back. I'll let the Baron know you're here.
My dear, you shouldn't concern yourself with trifling details.
I am concerned. This house needs all I can give, not just my gardening skills.
Enough, we'll speak later. Your Highness, it's a pleasure to see you on such a chilly day. But if you're here about Denri Ayl, I must disappoint. I've been gathering information, yet I cannot locate him with any certainty.
Should I be nasty to them, or should I be... I'll be okay. I'm not nasty.
This data from House Alder might help.
These records, they are the pieces of a puzzle my own sources left incomplete. It appears that some weeks ago, Master Ayl arranged a secret meeting with House Rist. That meeting is doubtless occurring as we speak.
I'll have to crash their party.
I'd caution you to leave this matter alone. House Rist is a stain upon the nobility, a house of slayers and poisoners. I suggest you wait for Denri Ayl's return. A month, perhaps 2. Don't earn the Rist assassins' ire by interfering in their affairs.
Isn't the Empire allied with Rist?
It'll take more than dilettantes with knives to hurt me.
House Rist earned its place through cunning and murder. Its blades are not dull, and confronting them will do no good. Now, I must cut this discussion short. I have other matters to attend to. See to our guest, my lady. Make certain Cortess hospitality remains second to none.
I'm sorry about my husband. He's a busy man, and a brave one. Just not brave enough to confront the House Rist.
Well, if it be can't afford mistakes, or how about
A war against House Rist would get you both killed.
He believes that. Maybe he's right. Maybe that's why I'm so frustrated. Everything the Baron said about Rist is true. They are a stain on society, and a foe of Cortess. We live in fear of their blades. But you found our lost patrol, stole Denri Ayl's records.
Don't mistake me for your champion.
Like I did the Baron once. Just listen. You could show all the houses that defying Rist isn't hopeless. Find Denri Ayl, fight the assassins, change things for all of us.
I won't be your lackey. Do I flirt? No, I won't be your lackey.
I'm not here to serve you or your house.
If that's how you feel, then I won't take any more of your time. Goodbye, Your Highness. I'll see you if you return.
I kind of was wanting the option to say that was my plan, but I'm not doing it for you. I don't know. Again, there's some weird choices in this game. And you can only do what it offers you. I'm still going after House Rist. I mean, of course. But yeah, like I said, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because this is what I'm looking for, kind of thing. Yeah, weird. Weird. Alright, so where do I need to go? I'm going over here and... Oh, I should sell my stuff first for hop on a taxi.
Do you require medical attention?
I do not, but I want to sell some stuff. What do these look like? Nothing special. Actually, what do they look like? Wait, this. Still nothing special. Okay, sell those. Keep the egg.
Be
Might
well.
want to use that.
Ready for departure.
Oh, I'm heading back here again?
Enjoy your stay.
No, I have to go all the way down here. Why is it putting me here? Oh no, once we go here, so I have to drive all the way through here. Alright, well, it'll get me closer to my...
Destination?
No, this would be the closer destination, because I've got to go right here, don't I? Let's go here.
Enjoy your stay.
Been going on about food. Yeah, like I said, I'm not... You know, I've had food security, and it's lucky that I don't weigh more than I do. At one point, I did get, you know, much higher, much heavier when I was younger, and yeah, kind of right after I became an adult, and just, you know, I'd have Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and I'd have Mountain Dew, red and blue, and stuff like that. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. And, you know, I would be eating a lot of food on the weekends, and it's like, about 30 pounds overweight total. And then I dropped all of it right before my 30th birthday, and, you know, actually got really good shape. And then, of course, you know, years later, have a kid and pack on a few more pounds. Not back to that 30 yet, still not back to that big, but yeah, metabolism slows down. And even though if you don't eat as much, you still, and whatever you do eat, you pack on. But actually, I think a lot of my weight I packed on since, you know, my wife gotten sick, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to rest and been stressed out, which also will do it to somebody's body. But hopefully everything's be good, and we can all get back into getting things back to normal-ish. I was going to speak a little bit about when I think about food, I was thinking about this place I used to work right out of high school. It's called the Red Apple, and it was a restaurant. And I mentioned, I think last time, that only 24-hour place, one of the only 24-hour places open up in Walla Walla. And yeah, I have a lot of stories about there, because it was, I mean, I started there when I was 18 years old. I'd quit my previous job, and my aunt, you know, she was working as a waitress, and she's like, oh, our dishwasher, it was like the 4th of July, and their dishwasher had quit. So she's like, hey, I know my nephew, he needs a job. I'm like, sure, I'll take it. Okay, where do I need to go? Oh, this is much closer. I would have been up here if I would have stayed there. I can probably take this route. Okay. So she's like, yeah, he needs a job. So she, you know, got a hold of me. She's like, hey, you want to... Well, she got a hold of my mom. It's like, hey, tell him, you know, see if he wants the job. This is what it is. See if he wants it. And, of course, Mom asked me. I'm like, hey, money is money. I'll do whatever I have to do to make money. And, yeah, I got hired on there that night. This seems to be like a big thing with a lot of my jobs, is I start working there, get my foot in the door somehow, some way, and usually impress them pretty quickly. So they were really impressed. They're like, hey, you want to come back tomorrow? I'm like, sure. And kept coming back and like, you know what? We will hire, you know, didn't make me a formal offer, but just kind of kept asking me to come back and scheduling me. And eventually it just turned into I was working there now, which, you know, it's cool with. They're like, hey, you show up for work, you do your job. I don't understand why there's no issues with that. I love that. That's what we wanted. Somebody to show up for work and do the work. Which, yeah, is a lot of places. That's exactly what they want. Well, I'd hope now. That's why it always bugs me. People are like, we're a family, and, you know, company loyalty, and like, no, you should just want somebody to come in and do the work and be competent at doing the work. You ask way too much when you start asking people to, you need to be able, you need to be a diehard fan. It's kind of a red flag in my book. People start talking about, oh, we're family here, and you need to act, why don't you treat us like family and stuff like that. No. You're paying me to do a job. I will do the job, but I'll do it to the best of my ability, and I will give you, I have a great work ethic, and I will give you 110%. But when I'm not on the clock, this is not my life. This is just my job. Simple as that. I don't expect you to give me extra. I don't expect to do extra. Okay, which way should I? Let's go this way. Maybe this is the right way. And that's it. Just why is it so difficult for places and people to do that? Heck, I remember an old co-worker of mine couldn't show up for work at all on time. Was always anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes late. Like, well, how hard is it? They're not asking a lot from you. Just show up for work. Why is that so? Well, I have all these problems. Like, yeah, but you're gonna have more problems. Just show up for work. If it's traffic, leave a little bit earlier. You're single, you live alone. You have nobody else to answer to except for yourself. It's not like you work at a family, there's always, something going on with the kid and like, okay, that's understandable. Oh, I could have went either way. But yeah, then, and eventually I got promoted. Went from dishwasher to line cook, and line cook to assistant kitchen manager to kitchen manager, and then I quit. Which, yeah, there's a lot more stories that go along with all that, but I was there for about 4 years, and it was very interesting. It was very interesting. Oh. Okay, hold on here. Sorry, kid was trying to borrow something grab something off the computer desk while I'm working. I'm working over here. No, I'm playing my game. Work involves getting paid. I get no payment from this. Yep, that's why I don't care a whole lot about the quality and stuff. Is all up to me, because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just doing this for fun. And if someday these videos become big and somebody wants to pay me to do this, fine. But right now, this is not my job. This is fun. But yeah, they just kind of, said they liked it, that I just show up for work and I do my job. And it wasn't that hard of a job. I mean, honestly, prior to that, I was working in a cafe, a smaller cafe. Okay, I don't need to go that way. I need to go this way. Wait, do I need to go this way? Let me double check my map. Yep, I do need to go this way. A small little cafe.
Rise and shine.
I want to say what seats maybe 20 to 30 people. It wasn't that big. And I was working part-time, a few hours here and there. That was the one I was working in high school, where I'd go to school during the day, and then at night I'd work cafe, and they'd pay me tips and usually a meal. And then whenever I got out of high school, they're like, okay, we'll pay you. You get tips, a meal, and get paid for 2 hours. I'm like, okay, well, fine, I'll do that. Because it's like, yeah, I'm no longer in high school. I need to start making actual money, because I mean, even in high school I had to support myself, but it's like, I definitely need to support myself now. And yeah, the owner of that place, really great cook. She would get frustrated very, very too easily. unfortunately. And even when she get frustrated, she'd take it out on a lot of stuff. Usually me, because I was there. Like I said, really, I liked her as a person. As a boss, I was like, yeah, maybe not. And you know, it's understandable. It's her restaurant. She's gonna. Oh, and her food. Oh my gosh, yes, she had such great food. I said I don't know if she's even around anymore or if her restaurant's around anymore. If it is, yeah. Like even after I left there, I had to come back and like apologize. Like, I'm sorry, you know, we kind of whatever. Because I was still like, I still love your food, and I want, you know, kind of felt bad how I left. I quit because she went off me one day, and I was like, I'm done. I'm just done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired of working this, you know. I'm working a dead-end job here, making barely any money.
Getting good.
And you're hitting me with stuff. You're yelling at me, and now it's like, forget it. I'm just done. So, but anyway, so I left there, and like I said, unemployed, and went in, you know, whenever they hired me up, it's like, oh, we just want you to bust tables and wash dishes. Like, really? That's it? I don't have to take orders. I don't have to get burnt with pans. I don't have to get yelled at constantly. Like, no, it's like, this is simple work. Then, of course, yeah, they, like I said, they end up pairing me with a, okay, that's a bit a long way. They end up pairing me with this breakfast cook who'd been there for a long time. And this guy, I mean, he's a really good cook. And I learned a lot from him. But he had his demons too, and I don't want, he passed away a few decades ago, so I don't want to, anybody knows him and knows me knows exactly what it was. I dated his daughter for a little bit, which, yeah, when I first started there, I started working for him. He's like, his daughter came up to him and says, ooh, your dishwasher's pretty cute. He came up after she left, he comes up and goes, you keep your hands off my daughter. I'm like, what, huh? What's going on? So later on, we dated for a little bit. Nothing big, you know. She was underage, so nothing happened. And I was, what, about 4 years older than her? 4 or 5 years older, so it wasn't like a huge, you know, huge deal, but yeah, he kind of taught me a lot of stuff, I learned from a lot of people how to be a line cook, and even now my wife enjoys it. She's like, oh, you can make eggs, and you know how to make breakfast. He was a breakfast cook, and he taught me all the breakfast cook stuff he knew, like how to flip an egg. I think I've mentioned that before. Learned how to flip eggs inside of a pan without using a spatula. My specialty was actually pancakes. I knew how to make a really good pancake. Pancakes and omelets. And I don't mean the kind of omelets, because there's different types of omelets. And the type I grew up with was the kind that you mixed all the stuff in with the eggs, and you go ahead and cooked it all, you know, you cooked it all together. And if it was flat, you called it an omelet. Well, I learned what I call the restaurant style, which is where you cook the egg, and then you put the stuff inside the egg, and you fold it over the internal stuff. I'm trying to think of what to call it. Like, say, maybe you're making what was it, Denver omelet. Denver omelet was egg, of course, cheese, green peppers, onions, and ham. So you do is you cook the ham, green peppers, and onions separate. You cook the omelet, and then you after you get the egg all cooked up, you lay it flat, You put some cheese inside of it. You put all the cooked green pepper, onion, and ham on top of the cheese. Sprinkle a little bit more cheese on it, and then fold it over. So it's like a half circle.
Ah, I was starting to wonder if we'd meet face to face. Welcome to House Wrist. My name is Denri Ayl, but of course you know that, and so much more after stealing my records.
Pleasure to meet you, Master Ayl.
Oh, and you.
Sorry, I have my mute on. Like, let's try it again. I was trying to be sarcastic. It turns out that was being... No.
Ah, I was starting to wonder if we'd meet face to face. Welcome to House Wrist. My name is Denri Ayl, but of course you know that, and so much more after stealing my records.
See, I was figuring hello there, kind of like the whole Obi-Wan, oh, hello there. General Kenobi, you know, kind of thing. So I guess I get to either recognize me or you're a terrorist. Which one do I want to do? You're a terrorist, I guess is going to be the best one.
I know you're funding the Eagle and his terror network.
Do you really? How satisfying for you. Not that it matters. When we heard you were on your way, I arranged for my friends at considerable expense to prepare a traditional wrist welcome.
Okay, I want to say this is a trap, kind of sarcastic way, like, oh, this is a trap. It didn't seem like one. Nobody's quite stopped me so far. But I'm figuring out if I say it's going to go, oh, this is a trap, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have walked into it. So I'm just going to say, sounds fun, attack them.
Why don't I show you a traditional Imperial welcome instead?
And I'll show you how to die!
Run away, little man. Oh. Oh, that's where you're running away. All right. All right, I got the assassins. They're easy. All right. Oh, I should have taken out. Now I have to go around, don't I? Doggone it. Oh wait, what's this? Deactivate the force field. That works. I was gonna have to go around. I thought I had to go around. Rather than not, just kill the assassins and take down the force field. Not so smart, are you? And let's go ahead and go down here. He's going to give me a speech, because they always give you speech. Nope. He's going to give me turrets, though. Let's take out turrets. Because they tend to always be a bigger problem. Alright, now your turn. Shoulder cannon? Where does that come from? Here, have a flame thingy. Oh, more turrets. Okay, fine. They got turrets again. Why can't I have turrets? Oh wait, I do get turrets at some point. Later on. Here, have some missiles. You're going down, dude. Oh, I can't keep shooting them. Fine.
You worthless filth. You may have killed me, but you can't take away what I've achieved. I worked for peace on Alderaan. I showed the houses how to settle their differences. What have you ever done for decent men?
I protect decent people from terrorists like you.
You blind fanatic. You never understand.
Alright, that worked. Check out his computer. It's a good thing he died next to it.
Master Ayl, I'm sorry to disturb, but this message must reach you in time. The situation's grown worse. The thorn in my side knows you're visiting House Rist, and I believe he'll soon give chase. He's dangerous, Denri. He's in league with my husband, and somehow gained access to your personal journals. You're going to need protection. I know the Rists aren't committed to working for us yet, but I hope you can convince them to help you. I'm sure you can sway them somehow. You've a way with words.
Oh, somebody's not gonna be happy when they find out he finds out that his wife has been messing with the terrorists. Well, working with terrorists, maybe not messing with, but let's go see. Where was I? House Cortess. There we go. Yeah, it'll be worth that. We'll go back to my story about working at Red Apple. So there's a lot of other stories there, but yeah, after getting hired on and
do you require medical attention?
Trained for a while, became line cook, learned how to cook a lot of things. I mean, I always knew how to, I kind of learned how to cook when I was a kid, but it's different from doing it professionally. And eventually I took over, well, they kind of gave me like a graveyard, we call graveyard shift, which was from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Oh, sorry, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. 2 p.m. is when the bars let out, and that's when the fun began. Began?
Halt! Leave Cortess lands immediately, or be forcibly expelled.
Let me guess. Baroness Che doesn't like me anymore.
The Baroness has revoked your access to the estate. She's ordered all defenses raised. You may as well turn around. We've got blast doors, force fields. This estate is designed to repel an army.
An army? Maybe I'll have to break a sweat.
You want to play it that way? That's how we'll play it. All droids, attack now!
You're not going to win.
Fun. Don't think blasters are going to get us through here, Agent. Maybe we should talk to your bug boy.
Fine. Let's take out the killer droids.
You and me, we're getting good.
Alright, let's go talk to Bug Boy. Should take out a few citizens on my way out. Oh, look, there's some more people want to die.
You and me, we're getting good.
Don't worry, I will kill you soon. Here. What, you know, loot? Well, that's just disappointing. Okay, so now the question is, am I going to kill the Baroness, or am I just going to turn her in? What would my character do?
Rise and shine.
Here, you take this. You take this. You take this. And you take this. That was effective. I wonder if Kaliko knows, or maybe there's like a Killik tunnel that leads underneath there. Could just blow the doors off. I don't know why I can't do that. That would be interesting. But, you know, this is the game. This is... Okay, getting back to my story, sorry. I got lost. I get distracted way too easily. So yeah, I became, eventually I took over the person after working graveyard for like a long time. I would cover also for mornings sometimes for the cook who taught me, and eventually he got fired, which was, it wasn't really my fault. And let me explain how okay, so I got really good and really, really good at what I was doing. And I was really good, I couldn't do exactly what this cook could do, but I could do pretty much most of what he did, and a lot of times a little bit better. And his issues. Oh.
Agent, come inside. The nest is prepared to defend you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you need these bugs for. Defending us.
Our observers saw what happened. Why did Cortess turn on you? How can we help?
Turns out the Baroness is working with the terrorists.
The Baroness? This is unexpected. The nest has studied the Cortess estate's defenses and deemed them formidable. The interior shields are designed for squads of human attackers. The perimeter security systems are meant to combat armies and Killik swarms.
We disable the shields somehow.
The power generators are behind the main estate. They're well guarded, but they might be sabotaged from the inside. If I could reach the generators, I could release a swarm of fingerling Killiks. Our smallest brethren can easily slip through the cracks and damage the machinery.
You've got miniature saboteur bugs?
Yes. There are times when smaller bodies prove useful.
If you two are taking out the shield generators, I'll keep the Cortez patrols busy. Maybe poach something nice.
You're planning to steal the Baron's prize Thranters?
What? We've got room on the ship.
Each of us can carry a handful of fingerling eggs. Once our young destroy the shield generator, we can proceed inside.
Sounds like a good plan. Ooh, what did I get? I got something with a cape again. All right, well, let's go ahead and do it then. Oh, I got a new companion. Okay. Looks like he's a melee too. Let's take this off. Ooh, do I need to go help real quick? I think my wife might need help, so I will be right back. Okay, never mind. So yeah, so where am I going first? I'm going way over here for House of Cortez. They're over here. Okay, Claire's Valley. Do I have any option for a quick travel? I do not. So let's find a speeder and fly there. But anyway, so yeah, the cook who trained me ended up getting fired because trying to figure out how to say this correctly. Okay, so I got really good at cooking, became a kitchen manager, blah blah blah, and what ended up happening is my boss, the cook that I was working
Vehicle
under.
pads are currently open for business.
That's Outpost Grant. I think that's probably gonna be the closest I'll get.
Have a safe and pleasant stay.
Okay, so my boss, the cook that I had taught me, him and my boss, who was also in a restaurant, were always butting heads. And she kind of kept him around because she's like, oh, he's a good cook. I really can't replace him. There's somebody else want to take the morning shift because a lot of our cooks were also had issues, and 6 a.m. was way too early for them. For me, I'm young, and I'm like, I was too young to even drink. Yeah, there a lot of them had drinking problems. That was just small towns. That's what you run into. Well, now it's drugs, but it used to be just drinking. And maybe he'd show up sober, but he'd get drunk during work. Everybody knew this, or get drunk during the day. And by the time he got off work, he'd pretty well toasted. But he'd go in the bar and spend a little bit of time in the bar, or sober up a bit to go home, whatever. But anyway, so she had issues with him, and like I said, he was a good cook, and to me, really great guy. A lot of people really great guy, but him and her, they just butted heads. So she took it as I had left at that point to go do something else. And then she asked me to come back. And I said, like, okay, fine. Maybe I'll come back. She's like, hey, you know what? I have a position open. It's mornings. I'm like, well, what about so-and-so? And she's like, oh, no, he's leaving. Okay, well, cool. Yeah, it didn't tell me that she fired him in anticipation that I would say yes and take his job. So basically now he's mad at me, and I'm like, I did not plan this. And even if I would say no now, it's not like she would hire you back, because as far as she's concerned, you're gone and she'll replace you with anybody else at this point. So yeah, partially, like I said, it was partially my fault because I got good at what I did. And because I said yes to her without actually checking with him first to make sure. Well, him and I barely talked outside of work. Like I said, I dated his daughter for a little bit, but it was while I was working there too. And he took me aside like, don't you dare hurt her. And like, dude, you know me. You've worked with me for many years. You know what kind of person I am. She ended up breaking up with me, so... Well, it was kind of a mutual thing, but mostly her, like, this isn't really working out. Like, yeah, it's not working out because we're kind of two different places in our life, and what you want in life and what I want in life are two different things, and it's probably better we do it now and, kind of remain friendly. And we did.
Do you require medical attention?
We remained friendly for a bit until, eventually we fell out of
Be well.
contact with each other, which, whatever. I usually don't have a lot of those where I would date somebody and remain friendly with them later. But her and I barely seen each other. We barely seen each other when we were dating. So it wasn't too bad. But yeah, so he got fired. And eventually I quit there because, a lot of stuff was going on in my life, and I just like, I can't be in this place anymore. There's just too much going on here. I'd moved to another city, and the only way I could get to and from work was driving, and my car was just, totaled, and they weren't paying me enough to go ahead and buy a new car. I tried a different new car. It's like they weren't paying a whole lot. I was like, I'm done. I had a fight with I resigned as the kitchen manager, and the kitchen manager, they hired him, and I started butting heads because we were friends for a while, but something happened with him where I don't want to accuse him.
Slowly.
I don't want to say for certain this is what was going on, but I'd heard that maybe he started, he had some substance abuse issues. And that's kind of why his personality changed, which, makes sense. And so him and I, we started being at odds with each other, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I got to go somewhere else. I can't be here. And went to a different restaurant, worked there for a little bit. I applied for this place that does tech support, and was told I am not a good fit for that job. And to try back in 6 more months to try back, the person told me I wasn't a good fit, had been fired. I got hired on, and then within a couple months of working there, I was employee of the month. So, things change. But yeah, that's kind of the story of Red Apple. That's the short story of it. There's a lot more that went on there than that, of course. Like I said, I got a lot of good stories from that place. But again, it all came down to is like they just wanted somebody to, you know, to wash dishes. And I had a couple dishwashers after that, you know, when I was a cook, and I worked with some and I trained some. And it was just kind of like, you guys, you don't understand. It's how simple this job is. And maybe it's just not for you because it's a very simple job.
Let's get to the power generators. We have eggs to deliver.
That sounds creepy. But yeah, it was just like, it's one of those jobs. I mean, I'd do it in a heartbeat again if it was, if it paid well. But it's not it's not a job that you could work right now that would actually pay money. Or it's not a living wage, at least. Which I've said many times before. You know, back in the 90s, whenever I do this stuff, you could make enough money to afford rent. Heck, I did that job when I was able to afford rent. So uh-oh. Yay, it works. I thought that would work. Stuck in a carbonite and I was still able to use them. But yeah, back then it was like, you could work and the job I was working with, it was, yeah, it was minimum wage. So it wasn't like I was making a lot of money. I was just making enough money to basically support myself. Actually support myself and my family. My mom, my brother, and his girlfriend. Alright, how far do I need to, I need to go all the way to the end. Okay, let's do that then. But if I go back, but going back also in jobs, the job that I quit at the cafe, yeah, my mom had got me that job. She got me that job through connections. She'd actually, the person she was working for, his wife, he and his wife owned the cafe, and he was working he was working in a department store with my mom. He was like the janitor,
Are you well?
maintenance, you know, whatever, the jack of all trades back then, because they kind of hired him. It's like, oh, he's with facilities, that's how you put it. You need something fixed, that's his job. You need something clean, that's his job. You need something moved, that's his job. Kind of thing. I do like these things I can do that I can, if I'm incapacitated, I can actually still use them. Or they still do damage. But again, that was another one that, like, she made the introduction, and it was always up to me to go ahead and to get hired, because it was never like, oh, well, I'm gonna give them a chance because they're you know, I'll give the introduction. It's up to you to wow them. And even now, my job's, it's my current job. Heck, my current position I took after working for the company for over 10 years in two other different positions. And the first position I got in, I got in from a temp agency or placement agency, contract agency, whatever you want to call them. But basically, they contract the company. It's like, hey, we'll bring this worker in. You need somebody temporarily to fill a position just opened up. Or maybe temporarily because you're not quite sure you wanted this position to be open for a full-time employee. And they brought me in and, again, impressed them. And they said, hey, we want to keep you. We will go ahead and create a position for you just to keep you. What do I need to do? I need to get down there, don't I? But yeah, they got me in there, impressed them, and then after a year of fighting with corporate, my boss and her boss finally got them to hire me on, my old boss. And then that kind of ran its course because after a while I created...
Increasing combat pheromones.
I mean, essentially I created that job. I created that position, or it's created around me. And I literally wrote the directions for it. I wrote the... West Lock, East Lock, Death Lock. Okay. So yeah, whenever I left, they got hired on somebody else who wasn't doing quite as much as I did. But he was like, well, you were like doing way too much. I'm like, I know I was. That's kind of the reason I left. That's the kind of reason I switched to a different department, and that department heard of me, and they're like, oh my gosh. As soon as I applied, to like, we need him. We want him. We will do whatever we can to get him. So that was awesome. I guess I have to fight the thing up here. Yep. I've seen a boss, an elite up there, so I knew that was, I would have to eventually get up there. Or I figured I would. So yeah, they're like, oh, we want him. We definitely want him. And again, wrote the, it wasn't created around me, but I went ahead and made it. Yeah, I think I told the story how my directions were some of the direction stuff I wrote to train some of the people in another office, or the Alaska office, were passed all the way around the country, and then people like, they knew my name because they're like, wait a minute, I know you, you're the one who wrote these directions. Like, oh, yeah. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, whenever I went to my current position, I just burned out at that point. And my boss, he begged me. He's like, I don't want you to leave. He goes, but I do understand you. He goes, is there anything I can do to keep you from leaving? I'm like, nope. Burned out. I need to do something different. And when I came to my current position, wait a minute, cutscene. Every little bugs do the little jobs. Well, that's quite useful. And quite scary, concerning, given that the Gilliks really wanted to. I guess they could probably take over Alderaan, couldn't they?
The Fingerlings have ruined the power generators. We should find Baroness Che.
Alright, well, let's do this. Yeah. Do a quick travel because it's going to take way too long to go ahead and go back to the speeders. And I'm already at an hour right now. But yeah, my current position, since my boss, she hadn't really heard of me a whole lot before it. And then whenever I applied and my name was mentioned,
Please use all products only as intended.
Of course, there are a few people like, oh my gosh, yeah, he's applying for this job, take him.
Be well.
Yeah, you know, you need to offer him because this guy has done so much. And it's like, and I always laugh at that because, again, it was like the job when I did tech support, how, oh, you're not good for this job. And when I was with the temp agency, they were like, yeah, your bosses love you.
Are you well?
The temp agency who got me at the company I'm currently at. Like, your bosses love you, but the company themselves is like fighting to keep you from working there. And yeah, they're like, oh, we only got, you know, and then they said, oh, we only got one position open, and we're giving it to this person. They gave it to that person left within a few months of them offering a position. So then they're like, well, now we're on a hiring freeze. And then they're like, oh, we can't find the high school that you went to school with. And I'm like, okay, now you guys are just, it was the only public high school in the town, in the city of Walla Walla. And you tell me you can't find it. I think I brought that up before. It's like either you guys are extremely, and I don't want to say it, but I'm thinking in the back of my head, either you guys are trying way too hard not to hire me, or you're extremely inept. Because there's no way you can't find the only public high school in Walla Walla. And they're like, oh, you don't have any college experience. I'm like, I'm doing the job. I've been doing this job for months now, while you guys have been trying as hard as you can not to hire me. And then, then my boss at the time and her boss at the time contacted HR and like, we don't know what's going on, but you guys need to hire this guy. He's doing the work already. He's doing the job already. We don't understand why there's such an issue. You know, let us know what is the issue. What can we do to resolve this? And like, oh, we're just, you know, having difficulty researching, and like, we don't think he doesn't have any college, so he's not qualified. And like, yeah, what part of he's already doing the job aren't you understanding? So yeah, after all that fighting, eventually, you know, I got hired on, and it's been every department. It's like, yeah, you know,
Increasing combat pheromones.
every place I've worked, everyone I've worked for, it's like, we love you, we don't want you to leave, we'll do anything to keep you. We're so happy we hired you. So sometimes all just needs that, you know, that foot in the door and be able to prove yourself. Because yeah, I mean, you can answer interview questions all day. It's just the fact, it's like, I don't know. There's one guy I like watching on, used to watch on TikTok, and now watch him on YouTube Shorts because, well, I uninstalled TikTok from my old phone. I haven't put it on my new one, and I don't plan on, because I already sell all of my information's already being sold by Facebook and Google. I don't need another company to sell my information too. And that's the only reason why I don't. But yeah, he works, I think his name's James. He does septic tanks. And he's talked about, it's like, yeah, you know, part of the job interview is actually going out there and doing the work and seeing how you do. It's like, I think he called it like a working interview. And it's like, well, that's perfect. That's exactly what, you know, most companies should do. It's like a working interview. You're not asked. It's been too much, you know, I've done interviews, I've given interviews, I've been on the other side, and it's like, you don't know exactly how this person's going to do the job. Are they going to do good? Are they going to do bad? Are they going to get it? Are they going to understand? If it's something technical, are they going to understand it? Are they going to get out there, like, maybe doing septic tanks, or get out there and like, this is gross, I don't want to do this. Oh, well, you already hired the person. So, yeah, a working interview would work best.
What have you done?
Baron, I beg of you.
You have made an enemy of the Empire. You have brought vermin into my house.
I swear, I only wanted to protect us.
Silence!
Oh.
My honored guest, I bow my head in surrender. And I apologize for what's become of Cortess.
I'm here for your wife, Baron. She's committed terrorist offenses against the Empire.
I fought the only way I could. All I ever had was money.
Our reinforcements have arrived. We will attack on your signal.
I knew nothing of my wife's conspiracy. She only confessed once the house defenses were down. But I will make amends. Now, Captain.
Why is the place shaking again? Oh. Okay.
You're an honorable man. I appreciate your sacrifice.
I had no other choice. Now, take your insects away from this place. We can discuss further recompense as civilized people.
We're afraid that's not your decision, Baron. Denri Ayl and the Baroness are dead, With our assistance, the terrorist funding has been stopped. Now the nest will claim its price.
What are you talking about, Vector?
House Cortess will make a perfect extension of the hive. These rooms will become egg chambers and membrosia pools. The family can become joiners.
What? You cannot do this! I gave you my wife!
House Cortess opposed the Empire and must be subdued. The nest is growing and must expand its territory.
Oh, this is a really tricky one. Do I do the honorable thing? This was an ideal, or do I go, meh? Oh. You're not gonna oh, such. How far on the dark side do I want to go? Almost done. We'll go full dark side on this then.
Do what you have to do. I'm finished here.
Excellent. We will secure the estate. The injured will be tended to and transformed. The dead will feed the larvae.
Damn you, damn all of you! House Cortess will have revenge!
Protect the Baron and attack!
Are you well?
Here's one for you. One for you. One for you. Oh, and the Baron's dead. Okay, that works. Collect my loot. You're indebted to me.
The hive is secure. The injured will be tended to and transformed. The dead will feed the larvae.
Yeah, you already said that.
It's all over then. The terrorists and Cortess, gone.
They will become valued members of the nest. Now, we'd like to bring this mission to a close. With your permission, we'll upload House Cortess's data to Imperial intelligence.
Of course.
This is Keeper to Cipher 9. I'm receiving your transmission. Watchers are reviewing the Cortess logs now. It looks like you've wrapped up the terrorist financing situation. Congratulations.
I'm proud to be of service, sir.
Preliminary analysis suggests the Eagle's terror network will run low on funds within weeks. The cells will look for alternative credit sources, of course. Let's not give them the chance to find any.
We'll keep them on the run. Anything else?
One other thing. I contacted Vector's superiors in the diplomatic service, and we've reached an agreement.
Sir?
Your requisition has been made permanent. You've been officially transferred to Imperial intelligence. Cipher 9, from now on, Vector Hyllus will act as a covert assault agent under your command. Understood?
Understood. Welcome aboard, Vector.
We'll do our best to live up to expectations.
Once you're through on Alderaan, return to your ship for debriefing. Watcher 2 should have updates ready for you. In the meantime, instruct Vector as you see fit. I expect he'll require additional training.
He'll be a superior agent in no time.
Good. Stay alert, Cipher. Keep her out.
The nest is pleased with the Empire and encourages this opportunity. We remain Dawn Herald, but we will travel at your side.
You've been with the Killix a long time. Any anxiety about leaving the hive?
Perhaps. It has been our home since transformation. But we've always been an emissary. First from the Empire to the Killix, and now from the Killix to the galaxy. It should be a fascinating experience.
Well, get your cloak under control there, Vector. They're already transforming the place. That was truly evil, yeah. Okay, well, it looks like I am done with this for now. Let's go to spaceport. And my wife texted me, my mother-in-law needs tech support. Always needs tech support. Huh, not bad, 75 degrees outside. Okay, actually, you know what? Let me go sell a few things. And where is the thing to sell a few things? Hold on. Okay, give me 3 minutes. Actually, you know what? I could probably just log out here. All right. Well, once again, thank you for watching. I gotta go do some tech support. So I will end here and pick up back here next time. And you can listen to my fun little discussions then. All right. Have a good one.